Hey, welcome to Technability. I'm Berge, and today we have the Galaxy S4 running 4.2.2 with Touchwiz complete bone stock against the HTC One with the Google Play edition of Jelly Bean 4.2.2. Obviously, these are the two monsters of Android right now. There are other 1080p phones such as the Sony Xperia Z. You got the Optimus G Pro. You got the Oppo Find, if you want to talk about the originators of 1080p screens, and of course, the Droid DNA. But these two phones right here have been basically the most consumer accepted Android phones of 2013 thus far. This is not taking into consideration the fact that the Note 2 is soon to be released, and of course you have the next Nexus, which is soon to be announced. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at both lock screens. Obviously here you have a stock Jelly Bean lock screen with the widgets. If I swipe over this way, I get the camera. Alright, if I look at the Galaxy S here, it's basically very simple. You have the shortcuts on the bottom. If I just swipe anywhere on the screen, I unlock the device. Now, when you're dealing with stock and you're talking about stock versus Touchwiz, you're always going to get the purists who say, well, stock is always going to be better than Touchwiz or HTC Sense, etc., etc. But in my humble opinion, with all the features they've added to Touchwiz, all the bells and whistles that you get with Touchwiz, with this specific build on the S4 specifically, I'm not talking about the upgrades or the updates you're going to get with the Note 2 or an S3. With just the S4, the features they've added, the consumer has bought into it. The amount of sales and the amount of phones that Samsung continues to sell specifically with the S4 is damn impressive. The HTC One, for as good as it is, hasn't been as hot of a seller, but it has done fairly well for HTC standards. So with that said, let's just go ahead and take a look at both OSs here. Obviously, you can see right off the bat, stock, Touchwiz. You can see the app drawer here. This is in a list, and I can go to view type right here via settings and just put customizable grid, or I can do it alphabetically if I wanted to. With stock Android, all you're going to get is the very generic app drawer. Swiping over to the right gets you the apps as well as your widgets. Same thing with the Galaxy S4, the widgets tab's right up here. The difference is you're going to get the stock widgets here. Over here you're going to get the Touchwiz widgets. That's one of the things that I miss about HTC Sense is the widgets that you get. So let's just go ahead and enter and exit some apps and see how fast this runs on both phones. So let me just go ahead and where's the view type? So alphabetical grid. Alright, let's just open settings on both, see which one opens faster. So settings. Okay, so that was the HTC One. Again, this is stock optimized, so stock optimized is always going to have somewhat of a speed edge. Alright, let's see. Is there quadrant here? No quadrant, okay. So let's go ahead and try the browser if I could find it. Okay, so we're going to open Chrome on both. Okay, so let's just go ahead and open the tab here, click new tab. Alright, so let's do this, swipe them away, pretty much immediately. I mean, both are pretty much even in that sense. Exiting app, so if I go back, let's say, go back to Chrome and exit Chrome here. Okay, so the HTC One had the edge on that. Again, anytime you're dealing with stock optimization, you're going to have a little bit more on the speed end. So let's go ahead and try maps. Alright, so where are the maps? Here's the maps. Okay, let's try to see if we can get some directions here. So let's say okay, get directions. Alright, so the S4 won that on the get direction. Well, actually it asked me, but the S4 won that on the directions. Of course, the network here, this is Verizon? Okay, so this is Verizon and this is T-Mobile. So Verizon's always going to win on the network front, guys. It is what it is. So when you look at the button layout here on the S4, you have the home button, you have the back button, menu button. With the HTC One, you have the home button on the right, which you do have to get used to. If you're new to this phone, but you're not new to Android, you got to get used to the home button on the right and the back button. Kind of defies the loss of Android's stock buttons, capacitive buttons, but they are looking to change that. So it is what it is, guys. You get used to it. So pinch zoom, okay, a little bit smoother on the S4, a little bit more responsive. If we do pinch zoom on the browser here, just quickly go to Google. Both are super fast. You guys can see both are super duper fast. Alright, so pinch zoom on the S4, super responsive. You can see that, super duper responsive. Pinch zoom on the HTC One, super duper responsive. If I just bring down the notification bar on both, super responsive. In the quick settings, both are immediate. Okay, so very similar. You gotta Snapdragon S600 here, 1.7 gigahertz clocked in quad core. You got a Snapdragon 600 here, clocked in at 1.9. So, slight difference, but it is somewhat of a difference. Alright, let's just go ahead and take a look at a few other things here, such as the widgets. So if I take a widget here on stock, and I just bring it over to the screen right here, I could just put it as such. If I take a widget over here with the S4, and just put it over here, same thing. So it'll automatically move around the icons for me to make the widget fit correctly. You can see how that works. It's the same here with the one. You can see how that works as such. Now in terms of pixel density, this is a pentile matrix, but it's 441 pixels per inch. On a 1080p Super AMOLED display, so no complaints there. You're not going to see any pixels. Same with the HTC One, 468 pixels per inch on a Super LCD 1080p display, 4.7 inches, 5 inches. You're not going to see any pixels on either of these guys. Now, even compared to an iPhone 5, which at one point was, a really nice screen and still is, you'll see pixels on the iPhone when you compare it to these two beautiful sharp screens. Alright, so just wanted to go through a quick software overview with you guys of what you're going to get with both these devices. Obviously, if you're going to get the Google edition here, you can purchase it on the Play Store. It's pretty pricey, $600. They also have a Google edition of the S4, same, about $600 or somewhere near that with tax and shipping and all that. Or you could just get whatever you currently have. I mean, if you currently have an S4 or a 1, you could just go ahead and flash the ROM. It's almost the same thing. If you're talking about over-the-air updates, you can always just keep installing updated versions of the ROM, assuming you want to update to 4.3 or whatnot. So that's pretty much that. I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully do a video soon of 4.3 alpha on an S4 and on an HTC One, as well as get my hands on an S4 active. Thank you guys for watching Technability. Don't forget to subscribe and have a nice day.